Hello everyone, it's me, you, and instead of talking about meta today, let's get a bit freaky and have a more lighthearted video, talking about Brainrot. With the game having been out for nearly 2.5 years now, we've accumulated our fair share of Brainrot as a community. So today I want to walk down memory lane and just rank some of the most memorable ones and just see how far we've come. Now, to quickly explain the tier list, it should be pretty self-explanatory. However, the criteria isn't. So today I'm gonna rank them based on a combination of influence and longevity. However, it will also be dependent on how much I like the Brainrot. So if I didn't like it, F tier it goes. So yep, this video today will be a pretty subjective one, so I wouldn't doubt if we disagree with some of the placements. But with that said, let's get right.
Nice to meet you, I'm Natasha, an underworld doctor.
Oops, didn't mean to scare you like that. But hey, it brings back memories, doesn't it? Now, while it's not the typical Brainrot we're used to seeing, it's definitely made some lasting impressions that we can't ignore. Back then, this ad was quite literally everywhere, like you could not escape this. I mean, it only has a measly 600 million views, so yeah, it definitely did a number on the community back then. Nowadays though, it's just a fun passing memory of when we just started the game. Now, because it hasn't had a lasting impact on sorrow like some of these other incidents, not including PTSD, I can't really rank it in legendary tier. But seeing how it was likely an important factor in getting all of us to play the game, I can't think of a better place to put it in besides memorable. Next up, we have the one and only
One day, after dinner.
Yeah, the legendary lines from the bird boy himself, the Charmony Dove. How could we have a Brainrot video without the Charmony Dove? Sunday, a character with a lot of depth in his own personal struggles, wanted to question our beliefs and challenge our stance on free will via the Charmony Dove dilemma. Unfortunately for him, the community just simplified him into the sister-loving Charmony Dove guy. It started out as just an innocent copy pasta, and the rest is history. Of course, we had our fair share of memes back then, ranging from stupid pictures to more stupid pictures. And its lasting effects cannot be disputed. Now, anytime there's a stupid meme going around, you already know we're gonna get this stupid copy pasta. And just a while back, we had the cave incident. Lycus, like Sunday, both have very eccentric personalities, which I guess is why they're so memeable. But to sum up the cave incident, we had Lycus monologuing about his beloved cave, and this became the Charmony Dove incident 2.0. And of course, combining the Charmony Dove copy pasta with Lycus's cave, we get the beautiful Charmony Cave. I just want to say, every time I thought about the cave though, I just keep hearing this in my mind.
The universe! It sings for me! The universe! The universe!
Like, I just keep hearing Lycus just screaming, the cave! The cave! It sings to me! Yeah, it's pretty stupid, but I found it pretty fitting. But moving back to the placements, I of course have to put the Charmony Dove in legendary tier. As for the cave though, it was only prevalent for a short while, but it was definitely super funny while it lasted. And as such, I'll put it in memorable. Next up, we're gonna go back in time with the second OG Brainrot, Tiny Herda's Kuru. It's been quite a while since I've seen this, but it's a nice refreshing thing to see. Nowadays, when it comes to Brainrot, we have people talking in hieroglyphs and reaction images, so it's nice to see the humble origins we've come from. It's just a simple gif of Chibi Herda spinning, and it's nothing too special. But seeing how it is one of the OGs, it at least deserves a spot on the list. But because it hasn't endured the test of time due to our community's humor going in a very strange direction, I think meh is fair. Now, while we're on the topic of Herda, let's talk about Madame Herda, who is a peerless gem. Yeah, her initial trailer made a massive buzz, not to mention people were just excited for Big Herda in the first place. This combined with her eccentric fans, similar to Acheron Mains, led to Madame Herda's cult following. Now, while it hasn't evolved too much over time, this copy pasta is something you will see anytime Madame Herda is mentioned. That said, just recently there was a poll on Reddit to make the most perfect Star Rail character. With the blank and initial template, some people had already guessed the direction this was going. While other people were giving honest answers, it was clear there was only one answer. And as time progressed, those initial suspicions proved correct. But with some funny comments in the second last post, the most perfect character is Nis Sparkle, a peerless gem, an unrivaled genius, and of course the cutest of them all. And yeah, it was pretty fun going over this one, so I'll rank it in memorable. And after that, we have the Acheron Mains. To give a TLDR, Jiaoqiu, who was originally Acheron's best in slot, met some friendly competition in the form of Cypher and her beta. And after that, their subreddit just kinda self-annihilated with shitposting. We of course had the normal memes, but then it somehow evolved into analog horror and hieroglyphics, depicting Jiaoqiu deleting Cypher, Cypher consuming Jiaoqiu, or some other eldritch abomination. It was so ridiculous that it escaped its containment zone and breached into other subreddits. Other gacha games were the most common areas of corruption, but you'd also find their memes in the most unexpected places. Now, this era was legendary in its own unhinged way, and to this day its influence lingers. But it's not because of Acheron that the Brainrot is live. It's because of Jiaoqiu. It will, it won't. Back then, these words were simply used to talk about who would be Acheron's best in slot. Would it be Jiaoqiu? It won't. Or Cypher? It will. And these words are still relevant to this day. Now, while the Acheron and Jiaoqiu Brainrot should really belong in its own incident, I've decided to separate the two, because I really hate the it will, it won't meme. While I'll admit it's sometimes funny, it's the manner and reason why people use this saying that I just do not like. It's almost always used in a negative manner, which just rubs me the wrong way. It reminds me of Xianling's copy pasta, but instead of being funny or ironic, it's just people putting down other units. But to conclude this section, the Acheron Mains Brainrot, legendary. And to balance it out, Jiaoqiu's it will, it won't, bad tier. Next up, Lyrene. Yeah, the Cyrene mains have been currently infected by the Theoros himself. While it's not currently a Jiaoqiu level threat, it's still pretty funny to see. However, seeing how it's only been just a few days, we have no idea how crazy it could get. But if I had to assume, I think actually would be pretty short-lived, especially with version 3 Cyrene being delayed, with a lot of the attention likely going there instead. So as of now, I think meh would be pretty fitting. But you know what isn't meh? Lygus. Currently speaking, while there is a decent bit of Lygus content, a lot of the Lygus related stuff would fall under Brainrot memes, rather than just pure Brainrot. But man, I just love Lygus as a character and the memes that comes along with him. But most importantly, he's a freak! Like, just watch this.
In the hopes of gaining more profound insights, this boy will have a bright future as long as he receives good guidance.
So yeah, he gets a special pass. Legendary tier. Next up,
An island full of bananas, a loveliness for Slumbernana.
yeah, back in 2.6 we got Rappa and the game's in-universe Brainrot, Slumbernana. With Hoyle's deliberate advertising and our already brain-broken minds, it was no wonder that the Nana started spreading. Now, the joke was admittedly only funny the first few times around, so people did eventually get pretty fed up with all the monkeys and bananas. Not to mention, people didn't really like the 2.6 story either, so this particular Brainrot has mostly faded to obscurity. That said, I do like what the idea represents, that being a social commentary about our society and the way we consume and share media. And just like how the Nanas spread in their universe, we have our own Brainrot that spreads and has its own side effects. So, while its effects weren't too long lasting nor influential, I will put it in memorable for what it tried to accomplish. After that, we have Trashcans. Now, if I had to explain how our humor devolved in the way it has, perhaps our fate was sealed when the game made us the Trashcan Raccoon. And of course, the memes and depictions have only grown from there. What went from a harmless joke now became a personality trait. We are good. We are trash. Trash is good. Elite ball knowledge, by the way. That said, our trash addiction has become a running gag throughout the entire game. So perhaps this was Hoyo's plan all along, with them slowly conditioning us to like trash. Okay, maybe not that extreme. But with that said, it has had a great influence in the in-game universe and out, so I would say memorable would be a fair placement. And lastly, I want to end off with our beloved emanator of veracity, Fat Fuck. While this would fall closer to a meme than Brainrot, I'd still like to end it off with them. It's interesting to see how something as simple as our chubby unicorn somehow turned into the emanator of veracity and eater of nihility. And it's just so stupid, but everyone just kinda went along with it. And people didn't do it from a place of hate either. So yeah, it's the best kind of brain rot. Something really stupid that brings people together. However, right now, the public sentiment towards Hyacinth and Fat Fuck is kinda shifting the other way, which I'll cover in another video. But regardless, I want to put them in memorable. And yeah, that should be most of the major brain rot incidents, plus some fun stuff I've also added. Now, Star Rail has a lot of brain rot memes, like seriously a lot, but not all of them were to the degree as some of the other cases I've mentioned. Like, I wanted to include stuff like Evernight dancing, Mythos, the sex alarm, and stuff like that, but it just didn't seem too fitting. Now, if this video does get enough attention and views, I can make one going over some funny memes later down the line, so if you have memes to share, just put it in the comments. As for the next video, it will be about version 3 Cyrene, which has been delayed for a few days. That aside though, I hope this video was pretty fun and I'll see y'all next time. Peace.